Chapter 1. Our story kicks off in H City, a place where the rich kids usually just worry about their tan lines. We find a couple, seemingly more interested in swapping spit than sensible shoes, enjoying a poolside frolic. But then, the universe decides to play a cruel joke. The sky goes full doom and gloom, and suddenly warning notifications pop up like unskippable ads. Our clueless Romeo, probably mistaking them for a new dating app, asks his Juliet if she sees them too. Before they can Google what to do when the apocalypse starts, a countdown begins. And just like that, their world gets the ultimate dimension-hopping upgrade. The system, ever so polite, then requests that our players get ready for some incoming monster waves, because nothing says welcome to your new reality quite like a good old-fashioned massacre. A gate rips open, and bam! An avatar monster lands, presumably on someone's perfectly manicured lawn, or worse, a fresh pile of, well, let's just say, it wasn't roses. The rich brats, who up until now probably thought monsters were just their parents' credit card bills, are absolutely dumbfounded. Their jaws hit the floor so hard, they probably cracked the pool tiles. The monster, clearly, not here for a friendly chat, hurls its spear, turning our pampered poolside posers into easy targets. Our loving couple tries to make a break for it, but in a twist no one saw coming. The guy, bless his cowardly heart, pulls a classic every man for himself and leaves his girl in the dust. The troll, sensing an easy snack, prepares for another attack. But our brilliant strategist of a boyfriend, in a moment of pure genius, or utter depravity, decides his girlfriend's chest makes a perfect human shield. He punches her so she falls directly into the troll's path, then slams the door shut like he's just escaping a bad blind date. Now, with the troll towering over her, ready to unleash a javelin of pure terror, our girl is toast. But bam! She vanishes. Enter Shenjing Feng, a level 1 player who apparently has a flair for dramatic entrances. The girl, probably wondering if she'd been swapped for a better model, is relieved. Our hero then dramatically flings some cards. A green card snags the troll's spear, and some violet cards fly towards the troll, which, in a moment of comedic timing, catches them and laughs. Even the girl thinks this is awkward. But then, a shadow-like troll erupts from the card and absolutely smashes the original troll into the ground. Take that, you laugh-a-minute jerk. Chapter 2, and with that the troll is decisively defeated, its shadowy doppelganger conveniently absorbed back into the card. Our MC, the newly crowned king of card tricks, gets his well-deserved loot. A spear, a handful of measly copper coins, inflation, am I right? And a shiny new troll racial talent. The girl, now properly clothed, thank goodness because that poolside look was not built for monster encounters, sighs in relief, probably wondering if she should call 911 or a therapist. She asks our MC if he has a phone, to which he delivers a brutal dose of reality check. Honey, we've been isekai'd. Cell service is probably as dead as the troll. Then, because every damsel in distress needs a handout, he offers her an awakening stone. You know, so this hoe can stop leeching and actually contribute. She, with the intellectual prowess of a doorknob, asks if she just has to eat the stone. Our MC, probably stifling a laugh, confirms and points her towards the safe zone. And with that, he pulls the classic too cool for school exit, muttering something about having someone else to eliminate. Yeah, real smooth, buddy. A flashback to our hero's humble beginnings. Now for a little narration time. Turns out our MC has been in this charming new world for 3 whole days. Lucky for him, he managed to defeat a level 1 goblin and, in a stroke of sheer genius, ate an awakening stone that apparently tasted like chocolate. Who knew the apocalypse came with dessert? This culinary adventure gifted him a level 1 mirror card, which, as the name suggests, can copy pretty much anything. Conveniently, right after he checks out his new toy, a troll pops up. Our quick-thinking MC hurls the card, it mirrors the troll, and the copied beast proceeds to punch the original so hard it hits a wall. The original troll is destroyed, but not before getting pierced by our MC, just to add a personal touch. Truck Kun's absence and a new player's plight. Meanwhile, we shift scenes back to the girl, who's still staring at that stone. Suddenly, a Truck Kun. Moment seems imminent, but plot twist. It's not the legendary anime truck, it's just some guy with obvious anger management issues who decides to leave her to die peacefully. The driver, clearly thrilled with his newfound ability to be a menace to society, zooms off. At a parking lot, we see another girl, desperately trying to call her mom, but alas, the call fails. Just as a troll decides she looks like a tasty snack, a soldier swoops in to save the day. Because even in the apocalypse, some people actually try to be heroes. Chapter 3. The soldier, clearly racking up EXP and rewards faster than a kid playing arcade games, tries to comfort the distraught girl. But before he can offer a lollipop, a flurry of arrows comes raining down. Our lucky soldier barely manages to dive for cover, probably wishing he'd invested in a bulletproof poncho. He tells the girl to hide behind a concrete pillar while he takes care of this troll. Brave words, my friend. He throws a gas bomb to blind the troll, because who needs sight when you're a monster, then fires an arrow back. But apparently, this troll has been binge-watching Dragon Ball Z because it pulls an Ultra Instinct move and fires right back at the soldier's hiding spot. The soldier, clearly not to be outdone, uses his cat step skill, probably for extra dramatic flair, or maybe just to avoid stepping on a Lego, and shoots his gun again. The troll dodges, but splat, it steps on a landmine. As the soldier cautiously approaches to check his kill, bam! Truck-kun makes a surprise cameo, crashing the soldier into a wall. The dying soldier, in a heroic last gasp, begs the truck-driving menace to take his loot, but spare the child. But our truck guy, with a smile that screams, "I need therapy," finishes him off. He then sets his sights on the little girl and, because apparently cars are his personal RC toys, controls one to try and crash her too. While smiling like a creep, he checks for her body but finds nothing. Then, in the distance, he sees it. Our MC's mirror card with the girl safely inside. The truck guy suddenly starts sweating bullets, realizing he might have just picked a fight with someone way out of his league. You know, just another Tuesday in the apocalypse. Chapter 4 now. Let's hit the rewind button 4 months, shall we? We're back in the mundane world where our MC's cousin is just casually cruising down the highway. Then, out of nowhere, a car starts tailing her, and boom! An accident. The poor girl's body goes flying like a tragically disoriented bird, and the driver, a classic hit and run, because apparently karma doesn't exist in traffic. Fast forward to the trial court, where our MC is fighting for justice for his cousin. But the scumbag driver gets off scot-free, claiming mental illness. And his father? He couldn't care less. Probably more concerned with the fluctuating stock market than his son's sociopathic tendencies. Our MC is absolutely livid, so mad he could spit nails. He orders his shadow troll to eliminate this bastard. The shadow troll approaches the truck guy, who, it turns out, also has a skill: manipulating cars. He uses them to defend against the Yai, shadow troll's spear, which hilariously plows through multiple vehicles, only to find the sly bastard isn't there. The coughing-up blood soldier, still alive somehow, points him to a car by the main gate. The shadow troll uses its X-ray vision, and we see the guy is now in a car, smugly thinking he's about to eliminate our MC. But then, bam! Our MC pulls out his mirror card and a shadow car, because why not? Bumps right into the bastard's vehicle. The truck guy crawls out, sputtering about being out of mana and needing to recover. But our MC, still absolutely furious, decides to give him a taste of his own medicine. He runs the guy over. Justice, served cold and with tire marks. Chapter 5, alas, the fight is over and the soldier, bless his brave little heart, finally passes away. Our MC, showing a rare moment of remorse, apologizes and then, ever the pragmatist, absorbs the soldier's skill. He takes the girl to the shelter, but the little girl, clearly smitten, wants to follow our guy. But then again, our MC, being the lone wolf he is, ain't about that leeching life. At the shelter, a guard stops them, explaining that this isn't a free bed and breakfast. You gotta offer something. So, our MC, ever the opportunist, decides to take on a monster quest. The guard gives him a quest, surely saying he will die at this monster's, because apparently shelter guards double as fortune tellers. But our MC, oozing confidence, just reassures him. As he sets off on his quest, he stealthily hides behind a bin, using his eye skills to spot a troll doing a little jig under the moonlight. Maybe it's a full moon, who knows? But then, kaboom! A fireball obliterates the troll, creating a massive explosion. These fireballs, it turns out, came from a group of level 2 humans. They think the party's over, but then a frog suddenly leaps into the scene. And it's not just any frog. It's a curse frog that turns anyone it touches into a frog. Talk about a twisted Disney princess scenario. A samurai guy ain't having any of that amphibian nonsense and promptly slices the frog in half. Another guy, wearing a bucket for a helmet, fashion forward, I guess, calls him out for offing their teammate. But the samurai, clearly a fan of ruthless efficiency, declares that useless teammates are abandoned decisively and threatens the buckethead. He then notices something, slices a tree, finds nothing, and another frog leaps near him. Bam! He furiously slashes his sword around, and one of his haphazard swings actually hits a monster's shield. Noticing this, the samurai launches his sword, but the troll, because of course it's a troll, pulls an ultra instinct move and dodges. The troll counters, but the samurai dodges again. The samurai, feeling cocky, mocks the troll, but then promptly vomits. It's the troll's doing, so the samurai retreats, muttering about how it's an elite monster and the damage is insane. The troll, meanwhile, resumes its dance, only to suddenly get turned into a frog itself. You just can't make this stuff up. Chapter 6A's The Night. Climbs, our MC finds himself in a hotel, presented with a classic video game choice, pick a door. Yeah, the author apparently decided last chapter's explanation quota was met. Our MC, with a flair for the dramatic, or just a bad sense of interior design, enters a door oozing dark aura. Naturally, a white-haired guy with a suspiciously wide grin follows him, probably hoping for free popcorn. Our MC enters a world of pure snow, where snow monsters wander around, looking like grumpy snowmen with pointy bits. The shadow troll, feeling mischievous, lobs a snowball at one of the monsters. The snow monster, clearly not a fan of impromptu. Snowball fights, charges the shadow troll in a fit of pure, unadulterated rage. It reaches a tree, finds nothing, because stealth, darling. But then, suddenly, the beast's head is lopped off. We witness a full-blown massacre of snow monsters, probably set to a soundtrack of Let It Go played in reverse. Our MC, controlling the shadow troll, is thrilled to find an assassin's blade. Probably perfect for slicing through unwanted Christmas fruitcakes. The next phase of his mission? Eliminating the final boss, because apparently side quests are for chumps. Inside a cave, our MC tries to take out one of the guards, but it's not enough. He gets repelled by the monster's expanding shield, which probably doubles as a giant frisbee. The monster then hurls some ice magic at our MC, but it does 0 damage. Our MC, undeterred, continues to yoink the monster. Don't ask, just go. With it, and he's successful, but at the cost of a dangerously low health bar. Then he notices the boss emerge, sporting only one eye. Our MC, ever the detective, wonders how the boss waltzed out from the deepest part of the cave and concludes, with the wisdom of Sherlock Holmes, that there's a rat. Chapter 7, and guess who that rat is? Our grin-happy white-haired guy. He's behind this boss's dramatic exit, having generously provided the monster with dark mana, essentially turning it into an angry, glowing toddler. The monster then unleashes ice lasers at our MC, who, with the agility of a breakdancer, dodges every single one. This naturally sends our white-haired rat into a full-blown panic. He realizes our MC is looking right at him. Turns out, our MC's got clairvoyance, which is basically superhero-level peeping. Our MC manages to slice the rat's arm, but the cunning rodent manages to save himself and in a fit of rage roars to taunt all the other monsters in the cave. The rat grins, thinking he's got the upper hand, but then he sees our guy smiling. Cue the dramatic music. Our MC vanishes amidst the monster horde, leaving the rat utterly shocked. The rat, admitting defeat with a well-played, tries to defend himself while our MC, being the master of hide-and-seek, lurks behind a stone. The rat kneels down, injured, and collapses in front of the boss monster. Then, out of nowhere, our MC's dagger is lodged in the boss's eyeball. He stabs it deeper until the monster's power spirals out of control. Bam! It bleeds out, and our MC racks up a ridiculous amount of experience and shiny new skills. He withdraws his mirror card skills, and now he stands before a mysterious purple gate, ready for his next adventure. Probably hoping for a world with better room service. Chapter 8A's, our MC steps out of the gate. He's greeted by the sight of smoke billowing from the direction of the shelter. Uh-oh. Turns out, the shelter is under attack by an enraged gnome merchant. Yes, you read that right. A gnome. A merchant, enraged. The guards, bless their brave little hearts, try to defend. A sword guy launches an attack, but surprise, surprise! The gnome snatches his sword and smashes it with its bare hands. It's a typical Thor scene, just with less Chris Hemsworth and more questionable financial decisions. The gnome counters and takes him out. The electric guy tries to defend too, but gets one-shotted faster than a bad tweet. 2 guards on top watch, terrified, probably debating whether to call it a day. Then, the gnome summons Mjolnir. Yes, that. Mjolnir! And throws it. Bam! It smashes one of the guards' heads and leaves a gaping hole in the shelter, probably for a new, very expensive ventilation system. The gnome leaps in, but it gets punched by a level 5 bald guy. The gnome counterattacks with a boulder, which the bald guy impressively fends off. But the gnome, clearly committed to this fight, continues its pursuit. On the rooftop, we spot a hot lady with a sniper rifle aiming at the gnome. The battle rages on, and we see our bald guy being pushed back. His fist armor cracks, and he bows, ready to finish this now, activating his rage mode. Get ready for some bald fury! Chapter 9, and boom! An explosion rocks the shelter, courtesy of the bald guy's fist of rage. As the dust settles, the sniper girl and the bald guy are absolutely shocked to find the gnome is regenerating. It's back to full health, probably humming a happy tune. Then the gnome suddenly blinks, hammer ready to smash, and with that, the bald guy's armor is utterly destroyed. The gnome, now sporting some fancy battle armor, swirls around and shatters the shelter's shield. The sniper girl shoots, but the gnome blocks it like a total Chad, probably flexing its tiny muscles. Then it leaps so fast it's suddenly behind the sniper, hammer poised for impact. The sniper girl, panicking, tells the little girl to run, but it's too late. She shields her body, bracing for the inevitable hammer blow. But suddenly, the hammer stops mid-air and is thrown down into the shelter, and then the gnome turns into a vrog. Our MC, ever the one for dramatic entrances, defeats it with ease. But then again the gnome regenerates, prompting our MC to deduce that something is healing it. The gnome readies another attack, but our MC blocks it. However, the attack is so powerful it breaks our MC's shield. Looks like this gnome isn't just a merchant, it's a menace,